Vienna, the city of music, the birthplace of psychoanalysis and the capital of Austria, is a place that conjures up images of waltzes, palaces, and coffee houses. This city has been home to some of the greatest composers and thinkers in history. It was here that Freud developed his theories and where Hitler rose to power. Vienna is a city of extremes, but it's also a city of beauty and charm. And in this video, we will explore why Vienna is worth a visit. We are a couple from the US who have lived in Europe for several years. We've been fortunate enough to travel all across the continent, and Vienna is one of our favorite cities. So grab your coffee and croissant, sit back and relax, because we're going to take you on a virtual tour of this beautiful city. When you think of Vienna, what comes to mind? Is it the majestic Vienna State Opera or the Schönbrunn Palace? Maybe it's the famous Viennese coffee houses or the cozy Horrigen wine taverns. Whatever it is, we're sure that your experience in Vienna will be nothing short of magical. So what makes Vienna so special? What is it about this city that makes it so unique and unforgettable? Well, there are many things, really. First and foremost, Vienna is a city with a rich history. It was once the seat of the Habsburg Empire and was home to some of the most powerful rulers in Europe. The city's architecture reflects its regal past with grand palaces and churches that are still standing today. But Vienna is not just a city of old buildings. It's also a city of culture. It's home to some of the world's most famous composers and conductors, including Mozart, Haydn, and Schubert. The Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra is world-renowned, and the city's many concert halls and opera houses are always filled with music. If you're a fan of art, then you'll love Vienna. The city is home to some of the best museums in the world, including the Kunsthistorisches Museum, which houses a vast collection of paintings, sculptures, and other works of art. You can also visit the Leopold Museum, which focuses on Austrian art from the Middle Ages to the present day, or the MUMAC, which has a collection of modern and contemporary art. And let's not forget about Vienna's coffee houses. They are world famous, and for good reason. The city has a long tradition of coffee drinking, and the coffee houses are a great place to relax and people watch. Grab a cup of coffee and a slice of cake and enjoy the atmosphere. Finally, Vienna is a very elegant city. It's home to some of the world's most famous fashion designers, and the city's many boutiques and department stores are always filled with the latest fashions. If you're looking for a city with style, then Vienna is definitely it. In conclusion, Vienna is a city that has something for everyone. Whether you're interested in history, art, culture, or just want to soak up the city's elegance, Vienna is definitely worth a visit. So what are you waiting for? Start planning your trip to this beautiful city today. Let's start with the history of Vienna. As we mentioned earlier, Vienna has a rich history that dates back to the Roman Empire. In fact, the city was founded by the Romans in 19 BC and was originally called Vindobona. During the Middle Ages, Vienna was a part of the Habsburg Empire and was ruled by the Habsburg dynasty. The empire was at its peak during the 15th and 16th centuries, and Vienna was at the center of European power. One of the most famous residents of Vienna during this time was Emperor Charles V. He was the Holy Roman Emperor and the King of Spain. He was also the grandson of Maximilian I, who had inherited the Habsburg dynasty from his father, Frederick III. Charles V ruled over a vast empire that included much of Central Europe, as well as Spain and its American colonies. Under his rule, Vienna became a center of trade and finance, and its population grew rapidly. However, the prosperity of Vienna was not to last. In 1529, the Ottoman Turks laid siege to the city, but they were repelled by the defenders. In 1683, the Ottomans returned and laid siege to Vienna once again. This time they were led by Grand Vizier Kara Mustafa Pasha, and their army numbered around 100,000 men. The Viennese defenders numbered only around 15,000, but they were able to hold off the Ottomans until help arrived. King John III, Sobieski of Poland, came to the rescue with an army of around 20,000 men. Together, the defenders and the Polish army defeated the Ottomans and pushed them back from Vienna. This victory marked the end of the Ottoman threat to Central Europe, and Vienna was able to continue its role as the center of the Habsburg Empire. Throughout the following centuries, Vienna continued to be a major center of trade and finance. However, the city's importance began to decline in the 19th century, when the Habsburg Empire began to break apart. Nevertheless, Vienna remained the capital of Austria, and the city's population continued to grow. Today, Vienna is home to around 2 million people, and it's one of the most livable cities in the world. Next, let's talk about culture in Vienna. As we mentioned earlier, Vienna has a long tradition of classical music, and it's home to some of the world's most famous composers and conductors. Mozart was born in Salzburg, but he spent much of his career in Vienna, and it was here that he composed some of his most famous works. Haydn and Schubert were born in Vienna, and the city's many concert halls and opera houses are always filled with music. If you're a fan of classical music, then you should definitely visit Vienna. The Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra is world-renowned and its annual New Year's concert is a must-see event. The orchestra was founded in 1842 and it quickly became one of the most important orchestras in the world. Today, the orchestra gives around 170 concerts each year, and it's known for its superb musicianship and its elegant style. If you're looking for a truly unforgettable musical experience, then you should consider attending a concert at the Vienna State Opera. The Opera House was built in 1869, and it's one of the most beautiful buildings in the city. The opera company performs a wide range of operas, and the performances are always of the highest quality. Vienna is also home to a number of other orchestras and opera companies. The Vienna Symphony Orchestra is another top-notch orchestra, and the Vienna Volksoper is a popular venue for opera lovers. There are also a number of chamber music societies and ensembles in the city. No matter what your musical tastes, you're sure to find something to enjoy in Vienna. Finally, let's talk about the cafes in Vienna. As we mentioned earlier, Vienna has a long tradition of coffee drinking, and the city's cafes are some of the best in the world. The first coffee house was opened in Vienna in the early 17th century, and the custom quickly became popular among the city's intellectuals and aristocrats. By the 19th century, Vienna was known as the City of Coffee, and it was home to some of the most famous coffee houses in the world. Today, you can still find traditional Viennese coffee houses throughout the city. These cafes are more than just places to grab a cup of coffee. They're also cultural institutions where you can enjoy a slice of cake and people watch. The Viennese coffee houses are a great place to relax and soak up the atmosphere of the city. Some of the most famous coffee houses in Vienna include Café Central, Café Spirl, and Café Museum. Café Central is one of the oldest and most traditional cafes in the city. It was opened in 1872, and it quickly became a favorite spot for intellectuals and artists. The cafe has a beautiful Art Nouveau interior, and it's the perfect place to enjoy a cup of coffee and a slice of cake. Café Spirl is another Viennese institution that was opened in 1884. It's known for its excellent coffee and its traditional pastries. Café Spirl is also a great place to people watch, as it's located in the heart of Vienna's bustling city center. Finally, there's Café Museum, which is located in the former Imperial Palace. This cafe is known for its elegant atmosphere and its delicious pastries. It's the perfect place to enjoy a cup of coffee while taking in the beautiful As you can see, Vienna is a city with a rich history, culture, and elegance. If you're looking for a truly unforgettable travel experience, then we highly recommend visiting Vienna. Thank you for watching our video about Vienna. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We have lots of other videos about Europe coming out, so stay tuned for more. And if you're already in Vienna, check out our website for more travel tips and recommendations. Safe travels!